It's like, oh, I've met very few people like that over the course of my 30 years in, private practice, but a few where it's like, oh, probably you don't want to stay married to this person or be in a relationship with this person because they're just kind of a dickhead. They seem to get off on hurting people. You look, there are folks who will attract a diagnosis of being like a psychopath or a sociopath. There's some technical
or a
experts.
narcissist, a heavy narcissist too.
Yeah, and that one is a much trendier term these days, a heavy narcissist. But it just basically, however you want to define it, it's somebody like it seems like they don't seem to be oriented to actually giving a shit about you. And
Yeah.
that's just very painful to try and be in a relationship like that. So, those don't work very well. Even those, it's interesting, even those I find, even those kinds of situations, I find that it works better for the person who's trying to be involved with them if they calm themselves down first. Do you know what I mean? What happens often, the panic is such that they can't even see them they're being abused
Mhm.
because they'll be thinking there must be a way to, because the person's been nice to them sometimes. So there must be a way for it to be okay. It's very difficult for somebody to, wrap their head around, oh my God, the problem here is I'm dealing with someone who really doesn't seem to have my best interests at heart at all. That there's just no room for me in this. I better get out because it's just not safe. It's hard to conclude that when you're in a panic. Again, panic has its place. But to actually be able to make a considered decision that says, wow, I got to find a way out of this, even in cases where somebody's, in physical danger, to be able to figure out how to make a safety plan requires that your brain be working. And it's hard to do that when you're in total panic.